Hey, my name's Mike. Today I'm going to be talking about the Squier Classic Vibe P bass. This thing is the 70s model. They have a 60s model as well, and I was really torn between the two when I was buying a bass. This is actually my first bass, fun fact. If you can't tell behind me, and there's three more guitars over there. I'm primarily a guitar player, and I wanted something to just be like a real bass that I could track with and write with, and just something to kind of like get the gears turning, you know? So when I sought out a bass, I was really looking for P basses, if I'm being frank, and I really had my mind stuck on a P bass, but obviously my budget wasn't really in Fender territory, being that, you know, I ended up with the Squier. But there's really not much wrong with this guitar, and if you want it to be a Fender spec bass, you can really mod this thing to all hell to get it exactly where you want. I mean, even if you change the neck down the line, or, you know, get like a high mass bridge or some new pickups, but everything sounds pretty good in these Classic Vibe guitars. And I mean, I've got a Classic Vibe Jazzmaster behind me, and that thing is loaded with Alpha branded pots. You know, I would have expected some like mini turbo crap pot, but no, these things were full size, 1 meg in the bottom and 50K in the top. And these are no different. My model, I mean, given this is a 2022 model, these are full size pots. I don't recall if they're name branded, but I'm just saying that I've had some good luck with Classic Vibes in the past, both the 60s, and then this specific bass is amazing, which is what made me stick with it. But there's some reasons why QC wise you would really want to consider going with the 60s over the 70s if you're ordering it online. And in fact, why don't I just get into that first, because that's kind of like the main like disclaimer of this bass to me, is the fact that this is the third one I had to go to get, you know, not a lemon. The first one I tried out at Guitar Center, and they're really trying to sell me on it, but it just had like dead spots all over the place. It needed fretwork like no other, like a comprehensive fretwork. Like it wasn't just sharp on the ends, it was like dead in like several spots in just like inconsistent places. So I was like, okay, no, like I want this bass. It's beautiful. I'm a sucker for block inlays. I'm a sucker for the ambered necks. And not to mention the 70s also has this like nice chunky neck too, which turns out I really prefer for playing bass over the slimmer neck. So I ended up ordering one online from the Guitar Center store in person. And when it came in, it was just like, it was as if it left the factory and they just never really did any fret end work. It wasn't like you go to Guitar Center in store and it's in like a shitty, inconsistent climate environment. It was like sharp, like my hands were bleeding after playing it for a second, and I was like, whoa, that's weird. So yeah, that went straight back, and they talked me into giving me one more shot with this bass, and I was like, I don't know, maybe I should just go with the 60s. It's also a very beautiful bass, but you know, I went with it, and I love this thing. It sounds really good. It looks the part. But yeah, I mean, anyway, QC things aside, this bass is really good. And if you're comparing it to the 60s like I was, the pickups are, from my knowledge, exactly the same. They're both listed as Fender designed Alnico pickups on the website. The bridge is the same. The neck and the headstock shape, the headstock is like slightly smaller on the 60s. It's got the painted headstock. Obviously there's no block inlays or binding. It's a Indian laurel fretboard instead of a maple. There's no amber on the 60s, but on this you're getting that chunkier neck. So if the chunky neck's not for you, this is like that's like a hard stop. Like, don't go for this bass. But if you're really into like the chunkier feeling necks, then this thing will feel like a dream to you. I really like the way that this neck feels. Anyway, enough about specs and comparing to the 60s. I've got the 70s right here. So I've got Logic and HX Stomp open right here, or HX Edit, whatever. And I'm just gonna walk through the tone really quick. Right here, we've got the Kinky Comp. I typically have the attack at 1 with my Kinky Comp preset, but I set that to 2. On my amp over here, I'm running the Cali 400 CH1. I'm really liking this setup over here. Really nice and clean. And here's a dynamic room that I just have on here to just like, I don't know, fill out the space a little bit. And then I'm really digging this cab that I've got going here. I've got dual US Dripmans, one with an SM7B and one with a D112. So that's what I've got going over here. Let's play a little bit. Yeah, it's a really fun bass to play. Now that I think about it, maybe I enjoy the chunkier feeling neck because I come from Les Paul land, and Les Pauls tend to have a little bit more of like a baseball feeling neck and less of like that modern ESP Jackson style neck where it's like a D. Let's do no pick. Typically I play with a pick, but just to appease all the bass purists. Let's get the pick back. So obviously I'm no bass virtuoso, but coming from somebody who primarily plays guitar, I figured that'd be good insight to bring to the table. So funny story is that I originally wasn't going to make a video about this bass, but I had a commenter mention it in my, I think it was my last video or my first video that I made. And I figured that'd be fun to kind of highlight it just because like I'm gonna be using it in all of my tone dial-up demos, which is where I make a tone in HX Edit or Helix native or Helix proper, whatever it is. And then after that, I play with it a little bit and then I throw it into a full mix and you kind of get to like demo the whole thing. I don't know. I thought it was like a really cool little experience to just kind of walk through a tone and then make it available online for free. And I realized that, you know, in every video I'm featuring this bass. So it's like, okay, I need to talk about the bass. I can't just not talk about the bass, you know, and it's a really, really cool bass. And I had a fun little story with buying it too. Ooh, wait, you know what? I was about to end this video, but I need to play the tone that I play in all the videos. So here's that tone. So yeah, that is the Squier Classic Vibe 70s P bass, and why I decided to go with it over the 60s P bass if you're interested in that. I don't even know if I'm going to put that in the SEO here. If you're interested at all in the comparison between those two basses or my opinions getting in a little further on this bass, I have a blog where I kind of like further flesh out my ideas and thoughts on everything below. But, you know, at the end of the day, that's all I can think of immediately for this video. So if you like this video, leave it a like, click the link below for the blog. And if you want to see more videos like this, I'm actually going to be running through a lot of my arsenal today, making a ton of videos today, just because I just want to bang them all out and just like kind of get through the actual gear talk segment of this channel. I'm not really into much of talking gear. I mostly just want to like make tones and write some music and have some fun. But you know, it's a new channel, so we'll just kind of go where the wind blows. But anyway, be sure to subscribe if you want to come along this little journey with me. I will see you in the next video. See ya.